All right, so Monday, it's a key day for student loan borrowers. The Department of Education is set to restart collections on defaulted federal student loans. A big talker right now. The move by the Trump administration ends a pandemic-era pause that began roughly 5 years ago.
That's right. The Education Department says about 5 million borrowers are currently in default on their student loans. A loan is considered delinquent if a borrower fails to make a payment 90 days after its due date, and then in default after failing to make a payment for 270 days, so that's about 9 months. By this summer, the Education Department could begin garnishing wages, so that's very scary.
Yeah. Well, joining us now is Dr. Darla Bishop. She's a financial wellness expert. She's also the author of How You Can Afford Everything and How to Afford College. All right, so Dr. Bishop, you mentioned, well, thanks for joining us. You mentioned that this has been a big talker across your social media platforms. All right, so what are the immediate steps that borrowers should take if they're in default right now?
The first thing to do, if you haven't already, go to studentaid.gov, log into your account, see what the status is. Most folks may not even know who their servicer is right now, whether they are in good standing or not. And so find that out and then take the steps to get back into good standing if you are not in a good standing.
Yeah. Can you explain how enrolling in school for 6 credit hours can actually help borrowers defer their loans?
Absolutely. So a lot of folks are not paying their loans right now for whatever reason. Likely they can't afford the payment, or they were hoping that they would qualify for some sort of forgiveness or other relief. So it's counterintuitive, but whenever you are enrolled in 6 credit hours at a university or college, you are put into a in-school deferment, meaning that there are no student loan payments due while you're in school and for 6 months after. So this gives you an opportunity to buy yourself time and work towards that degree that maybe you never finished, so that you can come out with better paying work possibly to make it easier to make those loan payments.
And prolonging those loan payments along the way.
Right, and you know, and here in Michigan, we have a fantastic program called the Michigan Reconnect, where you can go to community college for pretty much free. And so this may be a great way to expand your life without expanding your debt and giving yourself a little bit more time to figure out how to make those payments.
Yeah, all right, so Dr. Bishop, what are the key benefits and potential drawbacks of loan rehabilitation for borrowers in default right now?
So the most important thing is to figure out what payment you can make now and what is the fastest path for you to eventually pay them off. The administration is making all types of changes in the Department of Education, so we don't know which programs will be still standing in 3 or 6 months. So the best part is to assume that you will need to make good on your arrangement and to figure out how to fit that in your budget.
Yeah.
So we hear a lot about these alternative repayment plans. What are they? I'm sure there are a lot of them. You might not have time to list all of them, but tell me some of them and how can they help? Essentially,
these are income-based plans. You can tell the Department of Education, this is how much I earn, this is how much my monthly or yearly expenses are, and so I'd like a payment plan that fits into my budget so that I can still afford to live. And so those are what you would do. And in order to get into one of those alternative payment plans, again, first step, go to studentaid.gov so that you can log into it, contact your servicer, and ask what options are available for you.
You're getting a lot of people asking questions on your social media, Facebook page. What kind of questions are you hearing the most from people?
What do I do now, and should I consolidate? If you've never consolidated your loans, it may be a good choice because then it allows you to understand what your one payment is, and that is also required in order to get into some of those alternative payment plans that either give you more time or a smaller payment.
Okay. Sounds like you have a pretty active social media. You want to share your social media?
Yes, you can find me on all platforms at my_finance_sis because I'm your big sis.
Wonderful. And your book again is How to Afford Everything by Dr. Darla Bishop.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.